Hi, it's June 8th, and I'm going to share something with you that may or may not be useful. It's kind of a homage, if you will, to a friend of mine who used to build his own stuff when he couldn't get what he wanted, and he was sort of frugal like me. So, anyway, I just came in from applying herbicide on my strips. It's my mid-season application, and it's time consuming. In the past, it was really time consuming, and I've cobbled together what I think is the best of a lot of worlds, and I'm going to share it with you. Okay, hang on. If you're doing a lot of rows, you probably need a lot of fluid. I'm using 25 gallons to cover both sides of all my trees. And I do not put herbicide in my general sprayer. This is an herbicide only tank. I do clean it. I probably could use it for foliar. I won't. I really avoid that. It is a Fimco 25 gallon model TS25 Deluxe SP, whatever that means. Anyway, little pump back there. I've beaten it up a lot. What's on there also is because I run it remotely from up on the seat. I have a Fimco 7771938 remote control. That's really handy because hanging off the keychain up in front, I just turn the pump on and off when I need to, so it's not running continuously the whole time. Yes, it's a pressure operated, but I like it that way. Okay, what's going on here, you ask? Well, first of all, regardless of how you transport your spray tank, if you're buying a low bidder product, cut the wand off. Get a Solo wand. Now, Solo wands, Solo makes lots of products, but the beautiful thing about a Solo wand is you can use real grown-up spray tips, okay? And that is a T-Jet tip that's in there right now. This is a 6506. And the thing with that jet is, with a 6506, I have consistently 40 pounds of pressure, and I have a consistent spray pattern. It's a fan, okay? You're not going to get that with the wannabe Fimco wand. Just throw it away. It's useless. This will give you a consistent spray pattern. Also, you can stick a screen in there. So if you don't want to worry about your tip getting clogged in the last half hour, just put a screen in, and then you don't have to worry about that. So first and foremost, get yourself a Fimco, a Solo replacement wand, okay? Now, if you're doing herbicide like I am, and I do enough about it, you want this accessory. It's worth it. Order it, whatever. It is a spray hood, and or drift hood, they call it, I believe. And what it's doing for you, obviously, is making sure the product goes down and constraining it from going off target. So you don't have to worry about hitting the bark of your trees. And you can see the paint pattern almost as you fan it down. That's really sweet. Now, everything has room for improvement, myself included. I took out the cheesy little tip that they give you, and I put in a T-Jet 6504. That's giving me better than 40 pounds per square inch of pressure going down, so I can penetrate, I can get in there, and the volume is right. I could still use a 5506, but I'd use more than 25 gallons. So this holds the rate. That other tip will not predictably do that for you. A Fimco tip, forget about it. Will not predictably do it for you. Then I just take it off. Why do I take it off? When I'm mixing my product in the tank, I use that nozzle locked on, stuck in there, this wand with the straight nozzle stuck in the tank to provide agitation as I'm mixing. And I just keep it cycling. A nice thing about that is if there's any cleaning agent still left in the hose, when I first put water in it, I just spray it and I void the hose. I get the hose cleaned out. Even though it is clean, I get any of that agent out of the hose. Secondly, I just pop the tip in there, fill it halfway, and it creates a circulating flow inside. Their bypass gizmo, well, it's sort of useless, okay? Useless. So The only thing that's really good for is if you want to kind of keep it going while you're en route and you have to have the lid on. Yeah, that helps for that. I'd really like to figure out a way to put a T-jet inside the tank to get better circulation. So use that for spraying and circulating inside the tank. When you get on site, swap the head out, put the drift guard on, and then you can drive along. Now, how am I doing the tank? On this tractor, I'm using a Harbor Freight, and these are kind of a typical thing. It's a standard receiver, 2-inch receiver that I have onto I have a hitch adapter for my tractor. But it's just sort of your standard sort of cargo thing that people stick on the back of their car for stuff that won't fit in the car. Okay, I got mine from Harbor Freight with a 20% off discount, and it has paid for itself over and over again. When I'm done with it, I just take it off and I hang it on the wall on some hooks, and you don't even know it's there. So this works. Now, if let's say you have a side-by-side. Side-by-sides aren't always that big in the back. Maybe you can make a mount for it, a frame, but that's up to you. But if you have a side-by-side, you can also use that receiver hitch and put the tank in the back. Oh, one thing about these tanks. A shortcoming, and they're low bidder. The shortcoming is that the intake, the pickup, is in the middle, and if you're pitched a bit, left, right, something like this, when you start running low, it will slurp, you will lose suction. More on that later. Anyway, from the seat, the advantage of the tractor over ATV, what's really nice is you're throttling with your foot because hydrostatic. So I'm setting my speed with my foot, not like on an ATV where you would be doing a wrist control, because that's tying up a hand. You don't want to do that. So I can do that, and I can switch hands and spray to the left of me, spray to the right to me. And I also have really good visibility. Now, if you have, say, a side-by-side, you might be stuck spraying left-handed, steering right-handed. Okay, because you're not going to be able to reach across that console and see where you're laying down product. So, but that's fine because, again, very small footprint. You can get close in on the trees, better than a tractor. This one is fine, but you can see I picked up a little friend here. Yeah, it's definitely, oh yeah, look at that. That's definitely apple. That's a shame. Okay. Got a little close. Look at that. And they're bruised, but doesn't look like anyone's living in there. Okay. So at the end, I was mentioning you lose suction. You've got product left in the tank. You really don't want to waste it. You paid for it. What I do is I have this small hand pump Solo, the 432G. Again, that came with a Solo wand. And I transfer the remaining volume. I think that's a 2-gallon tank. I tip the drain on the big tank, and I put it into the small tank. And then I spray around the house. I don't waste it, okay? So what's left in the tank, put in there and spray your parking area, spray around the house, get the weeds there. The thing I like about Solo, I don't usually do manufacturer endorsements, but the thing I like about Solo and their wands and their products is they meet all my needs. I keep a collection of spare parts on board. I keep a spare wand on board because every now and then it'll fall off the back and I'll drive over it. We don't need to go into that. But having spares of all this stuff means minimal downtime. Super, super important. Oh yeah, they even, they're thinking up here, you got a little spot for that stupid tip, that I never use, but they give you a place for it, and you can put a Fimco tip in here, not Fimco, spray jet. So, they even give you a cute little place to store stuff on that one. So this is my weed control solution. It's also, if you have a small orchard and you're doing foliar applications, that's the next thing that you want to watch, is you must clean your tank very, very well. I use a product called Erase. Don't go to a garden supply store. Go to a real farm store, the county farm store or whatever, and ask for tank cleaner. And I fill the tank halfway, and using that wand without a drift head on it, I hose down the inside of the tank with the solute, okay? So I give it good agitation. It's not trivial. This is $13 US, so, you know, I don't waste it. But that way I get the tank and the hose thoroughly cleaned. The hose is really important. If you're using a product like 2,4-D, it will soak into the rubber of the hose if you leave it there. So you really want to clean the hose out. It's as important or more so than the tank, because it is what it is. So use that to clean the tank. Then I fill the tank up all the way with water, and then I go down the driveway and I water the driveway with the rinse-aid, which tank, because basically it's just a caustic soap. Last but not least, you can see this tank is a wee bit bigger and it's oddly shaped, and I've had to adjust the cargo carrier a wee bit to carry it. I put a shelf in there to raise it up a bit so that the bolt heads don't gouge the tank. I hope you can see that. The other thing is I took 2 empty foliar fertilizer cans, 2.5 gallon tanks, and I put one on each side so that when you're going along and you're tipping a little bit, it doesn't shift. It just stays there. It was the easiest thing to do. So that's it. Okay. Well, I hope that helps you out a little bit. It's the best part for me is honestly while I'm spraying, I'm not looking at the trees as much. It's really brain dead sort of task, but I'm rolling right along at a fast walk, which is nice. I'm getting good coverage. I don't have to walk around. I don't have to pump. My arm's not tired. And I'm getting the job done. It's really nice. I have radio headphones on. I listen to 99.3, the voice of the county. Thank you very much. And it's all good. So take care. Cheers.